What's up, YouTube? Now, you see the title of this video, and you see what I have on the screen here. Now, I wasn't going to touch on this at first, believe it or not, because even though I do talk about, racial topics on the channel, I guess, I was like, man, I'm not touching on this crap. Um, but then, I was like, man, I got to release the decode on this when it comes to the gematria aspect. Um, and just briefly getting into what gematria is before I go into this story. For those who don't know, it derives from the practice of coding numbers into letters and words. It's a kabbalistic practice. And I've explained this in videos before I've done gematria, but like I said, for those who don't know, right? It's a kabbalistic practice. It's in Kabbalah they believe God made the world, everything using numbers, letters, and words, and this is the knowledge that the elites use. Gematria. This is the people that control this society, right? And there's a lot of esoteric. There's a lot of it's very esoteric, right? Very esoteric energy to it. It's real deep. It's a lot of deep things to it. You should definitely delve into it, learning the history of it, whatnot yourself. And who I have added in this video, I have him added. This is just another good chance to plug his channel because his channel needs to get more views, more subscribers. The Gematria Effect News, right? Who I've added because I already know the algorithm. Everybody is on this story because the racial aspect. This is just how this country is. We're just pathetic, right? But yeah, I'm gonna show you how. I mean, every time I see some stuff like this, I always do a decode, and the numbers with the decode and everything with it, it's undeniable. And all this stuff's undeniable when it comes to gematria. But this stuff right here is just like I'm just laughing as I'm decoding it, man. But for those of you who, you should already know by now, but if you don't know, recently there was a stabbing that occurred. Everybody's losing their mind over it because it's a black kid who stabbed a white kid and whoop-de-whoop, right? Or the racism is going to come from this, right? So you see what I have on the screen, right? This is what happened. Recently, a stabbing happened at a high school at a track meet, right? You see what I have on the screen here. Texas high school football star Austin Metcalf stabbed in the heart, left to die in twin brother's arms at track meet. So, the story pretty much goes. I'm gonna go over it briefly, then read over this because I'm gonna decode it, showing you the decodes I found as I go to prove how. Because understand, this story is fake. Okay, this is scripted. This probably didn't even really happen the way they say it happened in terms of it actually being a real occurrence. It's either it didn't even happen at all, or it was a reenactment of the shit. They hired some goofies to do it, and yeah, some witnesses may have actually seen some, but it was fake. Nobody actually died here. I'm going to guarantee you that no one actually died here. And I'm gonna go over the proof of that, and even just the interview of the dad and stuff, just showing you more of how goofy it is, right? But nobody actually got packed up, right? Nobody actually got packed up. Nobody got put on a t-shirt. But the story goes, there was a black kid. It was raining at this track meet. He was under a tent where apparently Austin Metcalf and his brother Hunter Metcalf had their belongings. They went over there to tell him to leave. And, you have the racists online on Twitter and whatnot who are they're trying to spin the story to make it seem like this, because the racists, they can't help themselves. They jump on this story and, the blacks, they're violent, 1350, the blacks. Like, they couldn't help themselves. So they're making it, even though the story's fake, they're making it seem like they told him to leave and the black kid just grabbed his backpack and grabbed the knife out and just stabbed him because, he's an uncivilized brute, right? This is the blacks. But no, that's even the fake story. That's not actually what happened. Apparently they claim that the black kid was told to leave and he was like, no, I'm not leaving, bruh. Making me leave, whoop-de-whoop. And, the Austin Metcalf, he tried to grab, apparently attempted to grab him or did grab him. And well, even before that, the black kid told him like, "Touch me and see what happens." And he unzipped his backpack and reached in it. And Austin Metcalf proceeded to grab him, so he stabbed him. That's the story they give. Remember, this is all fake. This didn't happen. But, that's the fake. Even within the fake story, he would be in the right. But the racists, you know how they are. They just gotta, the violent blacks, the blacks, the blacks. Everything is the blacks. This just gives, you already have these racists with their bias already, and this just gives them justification to be racist. It gives them justification to try to harm black people, because ultimately, when it comes to a lot of these white devils out here, they're looking for a justification to harm black people. We live rent free in their head. I don't know what's wrong with them. Well, I do, but that's a whole nother video. They're just unstable. So they're crashing out all over the place, talking about this is a hate crime and all this dumb shit. And it's just funny because when you know the truth, this shit didn't even happen. It's a fake story. But this is how the elites get y'all to divide and conquer, and get y'all to be, bickering back and forth on race. But, besides all that, right? That's what the story claims. Now I'm going to go over this story, and I have the Gematria open, and we're going to break this down numerically. And for all the people that like to say, "Oh, you're making the numbers equal this and that, you're making it match, this is schizo stuff," I just want to see how y'all are gonna, excuse this away. Because apparently what I'm about to show you, which is going to be mind-blowing, I guess I made it all match. I made it all equal. I guess I'm just a genius, an Einstein. That's what you would have to concede by saying that I made all this stuff match like this. I'm a numerical god. But nonetheless, let's get into this, right? We're going to go over it, and as we go over it, I'm going to decode it. I'm going to go to Gematria and decode it, right? But it reads, a Texas high school football star was stabbed in the heart and died in the arms of his twin brother after a fight over a seat at a track meet, his heartbroken family says. Austin Metcalf was attending a track and field championship between other area schools at, I guess that's Kukendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas, when the fatal attack happened on April 2nd. Now, first off, just to show how this is scripted. This happened on April 2nd. April 2nd, which can be written out as 4-2. The kid's name is Austin, right? The guy who got stabbed. Austin comes out to 42 in reverse reduction. Now, you can be like, "Oh, that's a coincidence, bro." Let us keep going. Let's keep reading. Metcalf, a junior at Memorial High School outside Dallas, was in his team's tent when a fight broke out between the teen and 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony. Now, what's funny is the dude's name is Carmelo Anthony, and I think I heard that Carmelo Anthony just recently got elected to the Hall of Fame or some shit, inducted. I think it was something like that. It was something like that. I think that's the case. Now his name is spelled different. It starts with a K, but it's still Carmelo Anthony, right? You think it's a coincidence? And I think it was the same day, too, that the stabbing allegedly occurred. So the same day that Carmelo Anthony stabs this kid, this other kid, the same day, the Carmelo Anthony who's in the NBA, right? He gets put in the Hall of Fame or some shit. It's all a joke. It's all a game. But here's an interesting thing with his name, Carmelo Anthony, though. Carmelo also equals 42. The black kid's name, Carmelo, equals 42 in the same cipher, right? Austin and Carmelo both equal 42. And since there's a race incident, I'll just throw this in there real quick. Blacks equals 42. The blacks, all these racists running around talking about the blacks. And, a word they like to use a lot, the racists, the white racists, the hard R, also equals 42. So just you think it's coincidence, right? On the same day, April 2nd, which is 4-2. We have all these 4-2s. Carmelo is 42. Austin is 42. Blacks is 42. The hard R is 42. Okay, but let's keep reading, right? Anthony, a 17-year-old senior at Centennial High School. Let's stop there again. Now, let's stop there again. Another thing to throw in there, too, is that April 2nd, if you write out April 2nd, the word, in a Chaldean cipher, it equals 42. Guess that's a coincidence as well. But you notice the name, Centennial High School, right? That's the high school that the black kid apparently went to. Centennial High School. Now, I didn't copy the L. I'll just throw it in there. Centennial High School, if you write that out, Centennial High School, equals 201. Now, for those of you who already know, those you don't know, the people who control this world are the Jesuits, the Jesuit order, right? Look into the Jesuits. Those is who control the world. It's not the Jews. You know, a lot of these white supremacists like to say the Jews and all this shit. That's a psyop. But it's the Jesuits. They control the system, right? It's the Roman Catholic Church control this world. It's undeniable, right? All roads lead to Rome. Now, right, Centennial High School equals 201. And you, for those of you know the significance of 201, right? Jesuit order. I mean, no, not Jesuit order. We'll get to that later, though. The Jesuit order. Okay, I'm having trouble I'm bugging right now. Okay. The Jesuit order, right? See this? The Jesuit order equals 201. Centennial High School equals 201. Now, you can say that's a coincidence. I know the dummies, man. They're going to say it's a coincidence. And, you know, it's just, I'm going to keep going, though. And I guess I'm making all this equal. I guess I made that equal 201, right? 201, Centennial High School, the Jesuit order 201. I guess I made it equal that, bro. And just to throw this in here, too. The kid's name, since we're on the Jesuit order, might as well just put it in here. Austin Metcalf equals 144. What's the significance of 144? Jesuit order equals 144. Now remember, Austin Metcalf is the white kid who allegedly got killed, right? He is the white kid who allegedly got put on a t-shirt. You know, he's the guy who got stabbed. He's the kid who got stabbed by the black kid and everyone's crashing out over. He's the one who got stabbed. And, yeah, he's the one that got stabbed. That's the guy, Austin Metcalf. I'm going real slow because I want the dummies to take this in. So I'm going to repeat it again. Austin Metcalf, the white kid who got stabbed by the black kid, his full name comes out to 144. Jesuit order comes out to 144. Now, all the idiots will say, that's coincidence, bro. That's coincidence. Let's just keep going on the numerical, just on these ciphers, right? It also equals 864. Austin Metcalf equals 864. Jesuit order equals 864. Austin Metcalf equals 286 in capitals mix. Now, capitals mix is the Francis Bacon cipher. The guy who made this website, I don't know why he changed it, but that's the cipher is called Francis Bacon. It equals 286. Jesuit order equals 286. And the capitals added, which is Frank Bacon is right, equals 196. Austin Metcalf. Jesuit order equals 196. So you're seeing these numbers in the overlap between them, right? It's not just one cipher. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 different ciphers. We have an overlap between Austin Metcalf, the white kid who got stabbed, and Jesuit order. Now, for the dummies that like to say that's a coincidence, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. And to keep going, right? And to keep going on the Jesuits, right? Once again, Jesuit, right? Just by itself, Jesuit equals 42. Now we already went over the other 42s and with this, you know, Carmelo's the black kid's name in 42. Austin equals 42. You know, his first name, right? Austin Metcalf, that equals 42 as well. You see, 42, and yeah, it also equals 84, right? Jesuit equals 84 and Austin equals 84. So they both got that overlap. And it also equals, look at this. I guess this is a coincidence too. It's not just those two ciphers, but it's the Sumerian cipher 504, the reverse Sumerian cipher 468. The Francis Bacon is ciphers 167, 110. We got the reverse equals and those as well. The satanic, the reverse satanic, in Chaldean. So all these ciphers, right? This all goes together. Pairing it together with his full name, Austin Metcalf, being 144, as I just showed you. in Jesuit order being 144. To say this is all just me making it equal and the coincidence is insane, right? But we're gonna keep going because that's not the only thing, right? As we continue to read this story, as we continue to go through this. So let me see where we left off. Metcalf Jr. Okay, we read that. We were at Centennial High School. Just kind of skimming through this story more. He's sitting in the wrong seat. He allegedly drew a knife, pierced him in the heart. Whoop. So I ran as fast as I could. The brother. See, once we kind of get here, we're kind of just getting towards the end of the story. Because most of the information I have down, I'm gonna just go over the main info and just just speak deeper onto this story, right? Just speak deeper onto this whole entire false flag, right? Go over this bullshit. Go over all the fake shit. So there's a lot more. There's a lot more. Now, this event, right? Let me see. Let me just get all that off the screen, right? This event, right, happened in Frisco, right? Frisco, Texas. Now, I guess this is a coincidence as well. We're going to go over all this. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm going to go through all the decodes I have. Frisco and Anthony, right, which is the last name of the black kid, allegedly. Frisco equals 34. Anthony equals 34. It also equals 92. 92. Now, I don't know, man. I guess that's a coincidence as well. It also equals 552. 552 right there. I guess that's a coincidence. It also equals 183 in the reverse caps mixed, which is, like I said earlier, reverse Frank Bacon and cipher, right? No, that's the Francis Bacon cipher, right? The reverse Francis Bacon, that's what that is. It equals 183. Frisco equals 183, and Anthony equals 183, right? In the reverse caps added cipher 118. Anthony is also 118. Frisco, like I just showed, 118. So you're seeing all this overlap, right? You're seeing all this overlap. Frisco and Anthony, I think that's coincidence that the last name of the black kid equals that, along with the town that it occurred in, the city that it occurred in, Frisco. Let's just keep going because I got a lot of stuff written down, and I'm gonna go over all of this. Now, the funny thing about Frisco is Frisco in gematria and the Sumerian cipher comes out to 420, and 420 you can see that as 4/2. You can just negate the 0. Of course, this happened on April 2nd, right? So that's something interesting, right? Now here's something else, right? Just want to go over as much as I can in this video. I don't want this video to be too long, but we're gonna go over as much as I can in this video. Now let me see. I'm looking over on my notes. I got everything right here. Okay, so you see all the overlap with all those ciphers with Frisco and Anthony, the kid's last name, the black kid's last name. Now we go over Frisco, Texas, right? If you just put out Frisco, Texas, it comes out to 42. Once again, in the Chaldean cipher, 42. This happened on April 2nd. And now the dad's name, right? The dad's name of the kid who got killed, right? His name is Jeff Metcalf, right? Jeff Metcalf, his full name comes out to 42 as well. I guess that's also a coincidence. And that does have the same, that 42 in the reduction cipher, and you got the 42 in the Chaldean in Frisco, Texas, right? So it's just more piecing the puzzle together, right? And just another 201 to put in here just to show. Another 201. Society of Jesus. Now the Society of Jesus is another name for the Jesuits, right? Society of Jesus 1540, that's when they were founded, right? Created. Society of Jesus 1540 comes out to 201. Just like the Centennial High School, that comes out to 201 as well, which I already had up. So those all come out to 201, right? Another thing is, racist equals 420 in Sumerian, the same as Frisco did, right? It happened on 4-2, and of course all this stuff going in with the racism, right? Uh, April equals 34. I'm going over all my notes. April equals 34, and murder also equals 34, right? And stab, right? Because this was a stabbing, right? Stab even equals 42 with all the other 42s with the name of the kid, everything I've shown so far with 42, right? Now, here's something interesting as well. This is a false flag. This is some fake shit. Now, false flag and race war, look at the overlap between these. 69-33, 69-33, 48, 48, 414, 414. What is it? 136. Yep, 136. 121. 121. And I think that's it. Yep. That's it. So you see all the overlap between race war and false flag, right? Because it's all about racial division. It's all this stuff is encoded like that, and this is a false flag. So it's not a coincidence that false flag and race war have that much overlap, because understand that with the elites, they want to cause more division. They like the division, and using false flags to cause racial tension. That's the whole thing, right? So those have that overlap for a reason, considering the fact this whole event is a racial event there. Everyone's making it racial. Now, here's another detail in the story. I've been reading multiple articles and watching multiple news channels talk about it, and they make a point to note in some of these articles and news outlets that the knife was black, right? The knife was black. That's something that they note in a lot of these things, is that the knife was black. And you might be like, why is that of importance? Well, it's important because black knife equals 38. Guess what else equals 38? Frisco equals 38. So the alleged color of the knife, which was black, even the knife was black, right? The blacks, right? Even the knife was black. So black knife equals 38, right? And then Frisco, where it happened in, right, it's 38. I guess that's just a coincidence too. I don't know. I don't know, man, with some of y'all out here, man. But I guess that's a coincidence as well. Hey, man, I already know people gonna see this video, and the dummies, they can't comprehend it. They don't have the brain capacity, but it's cool. Here's something else, right? Texas, which is where this happened in, equals 69. And false flag equals 69, as we've already had it up on the screen. False flag equals 69. Texas equals 69. It also equals 414 in Sumerian cipher. Texas and false flag equal in that, right? So it just shows you how they did this false flag, and it's in Texas, right? I mean, I didn't make that equal that. It's in Frisco, Texas. You see the false flag and how that all goes together. And the story is fake. This is all a part of the elites' little divide and conquer, just more negative energy that they're harnessing, right? This stuff is deep. And then just some other small shit I'm gonna put in here. This is gonna be the last stuff, right? Stabbed equals 17. You see that? And then kill equals 17. And then, ending it off on here, right? Tariffs equals 34. And Anthony equals 34. Anthony equals 34 as well. So that's pretty much, there's definitely more. I might do more decodes later. I'm probably not gonna upload that because honestly, I've shown enough. But yeah, as soon as I saw the story, I immediately oh, here we go. I already knew it was scripted when Gematria, breaking the shit down numerically, and of course it's fake. And then, just now that I'm done with all the decodes, right? Now that I'm done with all the decodes, I want to really go over the goofiness of this story. I really want to go over the goofiness of this story and I want to go over how people are turning this story into they're turning this story into some type of, oh, you know, this is this is the blacks, this is how they are, they're violent and criminals, and you got all the racists. They're just like they're on the hilltops right now, and they're just screaming and hurling racial slurs, and Mount Everest, you can hear them echoing and shit. It's crazy with how they moving right now, because this is just all the confirmation bias and shit. And it's not even, here's the thing, this isn't even confirmation bias of like it's actually some violent blacks that are just they woke. It's a video footage of a black person waking up out of bed and just jumping up and grabbing an AK-47 and just spraying innocents. Like, that's how they view black people. I want you to understand, this is how racist whites view black people. They think every black person wakes up and the first thing on their mind is crashing out. Is the first thing on their mind is killing innocents. The first thing on their mind is creating chaos and fomenting destruction. This is how they think. So they take this story, right? They leave out information. Because understand, as I have just shown you, this whole thing is fake. It's scripted. When you understand gematria, like I said, when you're done watching this video, or even if you're doing it before and coming back, look at the added channel I have. You will learn more information about this over there, because I don't really have that much of a catalog with gematria yet, and I haven't really broken it down on deeper level yet. But the best person I feel like you can learn it from is the dude that has been doing this stuff for the longest. He has the track record. I've checked his stuff, going back on his stuff. He's been doing this for the longest, man. I mean, he's been on top of this stuff. He's one of the best decoders out here. Really, I think he is the best decoder, if I'm being honest. And he has this information, man. Gematria Fake News. He breaks this stuff down, and he any questions you might have on this stuff and more information on the Jesuits, everything, he has it over there. But this whole story is fake, right? This whole story is fake. And you have these people, you have these individuals who believe it's real, right? They think this really happened. And I understand it's fake, but even within the confines of this fake story, you have these racists who are taking this and using this as, ammunition, or using it as a way to be like, look at these blacks, they're so violent. But even within the confines of the fake story, that's not even what happened. They making it seem like the white kid walked over to the tent and the black dude just got up and just started mercilessly stabbing him for telling him to leave. That's not what happened. Even in the fake story, they say that he told him to leave. He was like, no. The black kid reached in his backpack because, the white kid was about to touch him. He's like, touch me and see what happens. And then he touched him and he stabbed him. That's the fake story. That's what they claim happened. Even within the fake story, this isn't no crash out shit. And what's funny is, now, like I said, I know the story's fake, but even if this was a real incident, if this actually happened, the smart thing for that white kid to have done would be to walk to a law enforcement, because they're on a track. They're at a track meet. I ran track, bruh. They have security at these track meets. They have people there that are there to enforce any type of force needed to protect the students. You got a lot of people there, man. You need security. There's always security at these track meets. There's not a track meet in high school, especially in college, where there's not security there to enforce needed force on people who are breaking rules. So of course there was security there. So wouldn't the smart thing be to do is to go get security, not try to touch someone and enforce your own thing, especially considering the fact that he just told you, touch me, see what happens. A smart person would not touch him. And this is another thing where I'm like, yeah, this don't make sense. Now, I know there's idiots out here, don't get it twisted, but no. That's not what happened. This is fake. And even if it was real, the white kid would have been in the wrong. If I tell you don't touch me and you touch me, then hey, that's assault. I'm gonna defend myself. I'm gonna defend myself. And it's just that simple. But these racists are running around trying to make it seem like it was this violent brute black, doomsday from DC Comics who just, just chaos and destruction is in his mind, and he just crashed out, just on some doomsday destroying beast timing, and just decided to just stab this kid because, oh, you told me to leave, so I crashed. No, that's not what happened. But these racists look to use this as a justification. They look to use this as a reason as to why they can, justify their hatred against black people. They can, justify harming, because it's all about justifying harming black people. That's all it's about. It's all about justifying them harming black people, trying to justify, uh, um, attacking innocent black people. Even though they're trying to take this and extrapolate this on all black people, because, like I said, it's all about trying to justify attacking black people. There's something wrong with these people. And you have idiots like Matt Walsh making his goofy ass Twitter post talking about the violent young black males, the violent young black males. I gotta do a breakdown on Matt Walsh. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if I go in his background. He's Jesuit educated and all types of shit. I wouldn't be surprised, because it's just like you working for the Daily Wire. We already. Don't even get me started on who runs that and whatnot and what that's about. But the violent young black males, they're violent, and it's just like all the racists are crashing out, right? And the funny thing is, when you look at this story, you can tell it's fake if you have half a brain cell, which most people in this country don't. Most people in this country are retarded, unfortunately. But when you have half a brain cell, you see this is fake. If you saw the little interview they did with the brother, the acting was terrible, bro. Don't ever send him to Hollywood. He's not gonna excel, bro. He's not gonna excel, because I'm looking at him and I'm seeing how he's talking. It's like, bro, this don't even look real, bro. This is a bad actor, bro. He's a terrible actor. Do not send him to Hollywood. He's not going to excel. So the brother the acting was terrible. The dad, his acting was a little better, but at the same time, it's like, bruh, you're not crying. You notice none of them are crying. If someone murks my son, if I have a son, if someone murks my son, I'm not about to be sitting up there, talking about I forgive you and shit. I know some people are like that, and they really will forgive people if they really is, that's the whole thing with Christianity, forgive your enemies and all this, even though that's not actually 100% true. You read the Old Testament, you will see, like, nah, bro, that's not really, people take the scripture out of context and whatnot, but that's a whole nother video, right? But, this whole forgive thy enemies and all this goofy ass shit, turn the other cheek, this dumbass shit to have people being docile. That's not, no, bro. No. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna be real with you. No, that dad would have at least been crying, even if anything. He wasn't even crying, bro. Your son just got killed and you not crying, you not crashing out. Like, man, miss me with that bullshit, bro. Miss me with that bullshit. This is fake. The brother had the worst acting on earth. The dad is not crying. He's showing no emotion. And it's just a goofy story. And it's just more racial division, more goofiness. And when you really break this stuff down, you see how fake it is. You really get to see just how fake all of this dumbass shit is, man. You get to see just how scripted, just how scripted, just how fake, and just how, when you really break it down and you break it down numerically, you see that it's just more of the same thing with these elites mocking the people, just laughing in the background. They're laughing at the dummies. They're laughing at the people who just don't get it. They're laughing at these people. They're laughing at them. They're just hysterically laughing as all of the idiots online bicker back and forth and spread more division and spread more nonsense. They're laughing. And honestly, sometimes I really think, like, man, with a population this dumb, do the elites, I wonder, do they even, I don't know. when they say that people is, the elites, they say they their little secret circles and whatnot, and how they call the people, cattle and wasteless eaters, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. They kind of right a little bit. I don't want to sound fucked up, but it's like, my goodness, these people are so dumb. The racism, these people are so wicked. It's like, are some of these people really gonna get what they deserve when shit hits the fan? Because it's just like, man, these people are terrible, and they don't have. Even despite everything I've shown in this video, you will still have idiots that are going to get in my comment section and say how, oh, this is fake. You're making the numbers match. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I've rambled on long enough, man. I kind of went on a tangent, to be honest. But it's just, I gotta get my thoughts out, man. And I'm at a loss for words and a lot of this stuff, because it's just, my brain is struggling to compute the stupidity. But when it comes to these racist white people too and stuff, it's like, I guess that's what the book of Obadiah says. How are the things of Esau searched that hard they sought up? Because it's really hard to fucking comprehend the mindset of these fucking evil motherfuckers, man, and how they're spinning this story to fit some racist narrative and all this goofiness, man. It's crazy, and it's funny because it's fake. Oh my goodness, it's amazing, man. But I'm about to go ahead and end this video. I need to start uploading more. For sure, I do. I need to start uploading more. But yeah, I had to cover this. I wasn't gonna cover it at first, like I said in the beginning of the video, but I had to cover this, man. I had to, because it was just another way for me to really show how scripted this stuff is when it comes to the gematria aspect, bro. But click the added channel I have and go learn more about this stuff if you're curious. Now, if you're an idiot, then remain an idiot. Continue to say it's all fake. Continue to say that I made all the numbers in this video match that I've shown today, and continue to be delusional to your own detriment. It is what it is. That's all I gotta say for this video, though, man. I'm out.